The day is here. Let's see. Maybe it's time to take the offensive in the dark. You're in pain. It's shockingly dark out there. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Oh.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. Swim? Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He recalls you wouldn't put in the time required to learn how to swim. He bets you regret that now. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly banishes dark.
The dark strikes back.
That's not that dark. More like long shadows.
The shadows are growing longer again.
We'll beat them back.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Best to stick close to the shore then, where the goo isn't so deep. That's like being close to your friends who can help when things go wrong. Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone. Wishes you hadn't done so much to make the goo even gooier. Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun. Figures you must have met different Jagni than he has. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a tower tanker hit a reef and went under. If a story is about you, care for it. Let's see. Try not to get turned around in the dark. It's surprisingly bug-free underground. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wung-Fu. Careful nothing's sneaking up on you. Bang, bang. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. Is that a ray of hope? Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There's debris floating around on the surf that might be blocking your path or needs to be towed. That means you'll need a device so you can get it out of your way. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Dawn feels like greeting an old friend. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. As long as you're happy about it. On your own again.
Ja. Har de uppdelningen med radarpuntan?
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wants to know if he could point you towards something fun to drink, so that you could share with the tipsy tipster. You sure look like you could use a drink. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better hurry. It's coming soon. Respects how you take care of yourself first instead of trying to swallow too much. Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Guesses someone has to be, but he can't swallow the sight of it. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. the glug mocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all.
Hur bungar ännu.
Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surf Archipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. This machine should keep you dry on the goo. Gulp tells you to not forget those quacks. Let's see. Wouldn't want to be behind that. Back on your own 2 feet. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. Hold on tight. The Quack Hollow. It's just loonly. Does it look what-worthy to you? Gonna need a key of some kind. History is nothing but a series of stories. Dead on. You have a good eye for that stuff. Time to roll out the big guns. Better than nothing. Ready to hack and slash. Locked solid. Needs a key. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Ring up those rungs. Point it in the right direction and blast. And you don't even have to feed it. All ashore that's going ashore. ride it like a rocket. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. Let's see. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Wishes you would stop breaking what others are trying to fix. Says losing your parents obviously hurt you as you see. Says you should take it easy. He seems happy to talk. Says you'll meet again. Let's see. Treasure this part of the land while you can. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalicious, even rocket fuel. He once mixed... That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. Radium syrup. He's not in a state to go looking, so he's counting on you to help. Go find him a tanker truck and bring back some of that precious radium syrup. Please. Thanks you for understanding how dire his thirst can be.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. Which is the best.
This gutway has centuries of old waste. Nothing is dry anymore. Face-fisted, bites the dust. Tapped hard. Handy. This is no time for sleep. Hot metal. Just what you were looking for. Flex those smart muscles and open the hatch. That should be enough glow juice for two. Take a good look around you. That's it. Work your way up. sharp-dressed. The night is ending soon.
Heierud hambapp. Slåchba.
Gulp says he wants to take you with him on a super funny happy slide. Sharing is caring, and one drink for two is just right. Gulp says seeing your face is like seeing his own reflection at the bottom of a glass. It never gets old. He's been looking forward to a rendezvous, and it's on you to make it happen. There's even a chance the syrup is more intoxicating now from being aged in a radiated tanker. He's sure there are even more tanker trucks with radium syrup out there waiting to be emptied.
Ja.
Figures you could do that, but only Gulp knows which boozy ooze is safe.
Nothing shines like the dark. Oh, no, wait. Oh, well, you know.
You can't trust the dark.
Can you see how dark sets you free?
It's not too late for you, is it?
Hello, darkness. That's me, your old friend.
Gulp says drinking shouldn't keep you from thinking. He wonders what's on your mind. Says you're welcome back. You have a chance to change the future for good or bad.
Sering seg det gulles. Ja, da du synker.
Gulp thanks you, says a drink or two won't do any harm. He refuses to drink alone. You're his friend now.
Het nou niet te blijven.
Gulp says he just can't get enough of that crunky syrup. It's so refreshing. Don't you agree?
Het nou niet te blijven. Wacht tu.
He really appreciated that you shared a drink with him. You took a risk and deserve a reward.
Virgus biabe. Så hadde jeg kun kuringen.
So he intends to keep the promise he gave you when you first met. He's got a few things, you see, that no one else has.
Han mila I kurang.
Says he's always happy to make new ones rather than let the drinks sit alone.
Altså, det henger kun med deg der på den.
It's hard to understand the guzzle, but it's something about flip-flop the flip-flops and not getting sauced.
Det er kikk.
We'll be around when you return.